Well, it's been a year since Kate Brown was sworn into office as governor. She took over after the resignation of Governor John Kitzhaber after a federal investigation began into his use of the office. Well, now a year later, I sat down with Governor Brown to find out how she thinks she did in steering Oregon out of controversy and in restoring the trust of Oregonians. It's now been a year since media surrounded Oregon's capital amidst rumors that John Kitzhaber would be stepping down. In what seemed like a flash, the legacy of Oregon's longest-standing governor ended amidst scandal, and Secretary of State Kate Brown was asked to step in and take his place.
I know you all have a lot of questions, and I will begin to answer those questions as soon as possible.
Jumping into office on the heels of controversy, an influence peddling scandal involving Governor Kitzhaber and his fiancée sent shockwaves through the state and the nation.
Oregon has been in the national news for all the wrong reasons. That changes starting today.
Congratulations, Governor.
Thank you.
She became Oregon's second female governor and the first openly bisexual governor ever, tasked with not just leading a state, but earning back the trust of Oregonians. All against the backdrop of a tumultuous 2015, marked by state emergencies and a national tragedy.
UCC strong.
Now, a year into her governorship, we sit down one-on-one with Kate Brown with a look back at 2015.
It's been a really busy year, but if you can look back and try to remember what that was like, I remember there was confusion, it was chaos really, and you stepped in really quickly. Can you remember what that was like for you personally walking in?
Sure. Well, I was sworn in almost a year ago, and obviously there was a lot of chaos in the building. I think there was a lot of discomfort amongst Oregonians, and for me, my role was about bringing stability and calm and a smooth transition as we brought in a new team to lead the state.
How have you done, do you think, the last year in changing the public's kind of mistrust of this seat and government?
Well, we've worked really hard to give state government more tools to provide for a higher level of accountability and accessibility. So, for example, one of the bills we're passing this session will add 2 technical experts to enable electronic public records to get more quickly out to the press and the public. I think that's a good thing. We strengthen Oregon's ethics laws. That's a good thing. And we strove to increase the level of accountability at state agency level.
More than half of Oregon's counties were under emergency drought, right, last year. So what can we do going forward with that? That's just a tough issue.
So we're, I think, blessed this year with solid snowfall and rain. So hopefully this next year will be a little gentler in terms of drought. But Oregon must be prepared and resilient in the face of changing global climate. And toward that end, we're moving forward on legislation this session to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But we're also moving forward to provide local communities with the tools to be prepared for drought. And so we need to do both. We need to be adaptive and we need to be resilient.
And also the worst wildfire season on record in Oregon. Talk about that a little.
We saw over 600,000 acres burned. We had a number of families in the Grant County region lose their homes. I have to tell you that Oregon is extremely well prepared, and I think we will be better prepared for this next fire season. We have multiple agencies all working collaboratively, and we work very closely with the federal agencies as well. And the level of collaboration has just been astounding, and we are working hard to be prepared for this fire season as well.
As far as 2015, the most heartbreaking memory, I think, for our state, right? The UCC shooting that happened in Roseburg. What was that like as the leader of a state in great mourning from something so tragic? What was that like for you?
It was really horrific. It was a terrible tragedy. The entire community was impacted. I think the entire state of Oregon was impacted. For me, it was, how can we support this community? How can we make sure that they have the resources they need to heal, to return their lives back to normal, and to make sure that the families that were impacted can continue to thrive. When I was down in Roseburg, I felt like the entire state of Oregon was wrapping their arms around that community, and it was really wonderful and really healing.
Do you have plans to go back and visit at all?
Definitely.
You are running for re-election this year. If you are not re-elected, what would you want to be remembered for? What are you most proud of from last year?
I want to be remembered as the governor that got stuff done.
While Governor Brown spoke about righting the ship of Oregon, she also complimented Governor Kitzhaber's work over his decade in office. We also spoke about last year's big movement for LGBTQ rights and what it meant to Kate Brown as the first openly bisexual governor. For more on our full interview with Governor Brown, you can go to our website, NBC16.com.